Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a late review, but nothing new there. And admittedly, I'm going to warn you ahead of time that the start of this review is going to be slightly off topic, but the topic that I'm going to talk about is triggered by the movie, so it all connects. Yeah, I've been having a very bad procrastinating month. Every time I have a movie to watch, I'm like, I don't feel like it. Then when I do watch it and I need to review, I'm like, I don't feel like it. And then just as I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch a new movie, I find out that Stan went and put every episode of The Golden Girls up, and I'm like, okay, now we know what we gotta do. We gotta binge watch every episode of The Golden Girls. That's just the only thing I can do. So yes, I've been binge watching every episode of The Golden Girls, and I do not remotely regret it. Although, it's funny, I've binge watched it a few times over the years, and yet it's only on this time I'm watching it, while it still cracks me up, like split my side funny. I'm also watching it, I'm going, wow, the script is really inconsistent. Like, 1 minute, Blanche's parents are dead, then her father comes to visit, and then someone has, you know, this number of kids, and then they anyway, whatever. It's still an enjoyable show, but that is not why we are here today. Today we are here to review, I'm here to review it. You're here to listen or watch me review it anyway. And that is for Fighting With My Family, so let's get into it. Fighting With My Family is a 2019 biographical sports comedy drama film directed and written by Stephen Merchant. It's based on the 2012 documentary The Wrestlers Fighting With My Family, depicting the WWE career of professional wrestler Paige. So let me address the most amazing moments of this film for me. First, the film opens to a young girl changing the channel and putting on an episode of Charmed. Specifically season 5, episode 3, Happily Ever After. So the girl comments on how she wants to watch Charmed. For those unaware, Charmed is my greatest passion and obsession, and never have I ever seen it shown or even mentioned in a film before. As someone with OCD, obsessive charm disorder, this moment was incredibly special for me and had me screaming and cheering, which wasn't very good because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, jump forward in the movie, a young woman declares her wrestler name will now be Paige, after her favorite witch in her favorite TV show. At this point, I'm ecstatic! Calm down. While I never knew anything about wrestler Paige and her career, it is clear we are sisters in arms, as we both share a deep love for Charmed. And for that reason alone, I appreciate this film and have a respect for wrestler Paige. Now onto the nitty-gritty. Fighting With My Family is a charming film that anyone could watch and enjoy, though I must admit that it lost me in a few places. It's clear the film has comedic lines running throughout the film, but I only found myself laughing at 1 or 2 of them. The rest felt quite stale for my taste. I think the film overall is a great rags to riches story, and I like the way the story depicts the family dynamic. It's hardly conventional, but for them it works, and so it's lovely to see. Though, considering this is meant to be about how wrestler Paige joined the WWE, this film feels at times to focus more on her brother and his downward spiral after being rejected, his depression, how it impacted his life and his family, and while those are all significant things to depict in the film, it felt as though it was detracting from Paige's moments. When we did finally get moments with Paige, I felt she didn't have much dialogue at all. Most of her on-screen moments appeared to have her looking into space, appearing lost, with her struggle all over her face. While I have no qualms with the film showing us how hard her journey was and how much she questioned herself, it was just that it was becoming too much. It was starting to feel like the majority of the film was watching her sitting in silence, weighing her options. Even more than that, for a movie about a family of wrestlers and a pro wrestler's journey to the big league, I felt there was very little actual wrestling depicted, and what was portrayed felt quite weak and underwhelming. I would have loved to see them show us what Paige was truly capable of and just how she made it as far as she did, because from watching the film I was not impressed by her skills, and I'm unsure of how she got as far as she did. Perhaps if they hadn't given Dwayne Johnson so much screen time, we might have been able to see more of Paige's skills in the ring. While all of these things did prevent me from truly loving and adoring this film, I can at least say it was enjoyable, easy to follow, and is tame enough where even non-wrestling fans could sit down and enjoy it. But, and this is coming from a non-wrestling fan, it felt as though trying to cater to everyone meant they held back too much, and I would have preferred we see more of that extremity. Even seeing references to charm can't compel me to want to sit down for a second viewing, as I found it difficult just getting through the first one. The pacing was a tad too slow for me and had me itching for it to get to the point. But to its credit, I was impressed with how much the film got right, even down to some of the fight choreography. If you look up footage of the real fights online they attempted to depict, they are pretty darn accurate, even the dialogue. Though you can tell from the actual footage, the real Paige didn't freeze up like they wrote her doing in the film. However, I love the performances from everyone. Everyone has something vital to contribute to the story, and every background character contributes to Paige's overall journey in some way. As I mentioned, I love the family dynamic. It's quirky and gives off a very welcoming vibe that makes you want to sit down and hang out with all these people. I feel Florence Pugh did a great job in her portrayal of Paige. She made me feel her fear and anxiety, and when she was uncomfortable, I was uncomfortable. Technically, it is a well executed film. It just had some issues that didn't make it 100% to my liking, which does make me rather sad. I can undoubtedly say the film has a great subject and focuses on a fascinating person, but the film could have told us more about Paige, not just her beginning, but what she has contributed to the world of wrestling. Paige, born Soraya Jade Beavis, was the inaugural NXT Women's Champion. She is the only person to have held both championships concurrently, and as of September 2016, held her reign for the longest time in the title's history with a reign length of 308 days. She was also the youngest champion in the title's history at age 21, and there is more. Paige's achievements made strides for women in the industry. There are so many wonderful and empowering things about this particular individual that she achieved, and yet the film didn't showcase any of that. They didn't truly celebrate her achievements, instead choosing just to tell us she's a wrestler who came from humble beginnings, and given some of the accomplishments I just mentioned, I would have expected them to do more. This film does a lot right, and when you get down to it, it is a good film that is fun to watch, but it didn't offer me anything, and it left me wishing it had given me more. I felt deprived by the end of it and eager to learn more about our lead characters, so while it did plenty right, it also did plenty wrong. But I can tell you one of the things it definitely did right was bringing up Charmed. Seriously, I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I was sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning and Charmed comes on and I'm just like, oh my god! I screamed, I'm like, oh shit, I hope I didn't wake my mom. I did, luckily, because I quickly covered my mouth. But that was just such an exciting moment. And then when you learn that she picked her name because of her favorite character on my favorite show, which is her favorite show, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I mean, you put me on such a high at that point. Everything else just could not compare, but I'm weird like that. What can I say? I mean, I just can't believe it. Charmed got mentioned in it. Oh well. No, I was gonna think that was Charmed, but Charmed wasn't mentioned on that. Charmed has been mentioned in RuPaul's Drag Race. Has someone kind of doing a parody on Shannon Doherty's character in Beverly Hills 90210, whereas this one it was 90210. And the character said, "I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play a witch on Charmed." I was like, "Eee!" But yeah, it doesn't get that much love out there in the world, so getting that for me was like, I'm like, I don't care about anything else, this is all I needed. But anyway, as usual, if you have seen this film, or maybe if you're a WWE fan and you know some stuff about Paige that I don't know, then please, whatever the reason, comment down below, share your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you, and if you're not already, then please subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you are alerted when I upload future videos. And I am going to nick off and watch some more Golden Girls. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. So until next time, bye.